Welcome back. This is John Locke, and today I want to talk about how you accept information about what's true and what's not in SEO. And specifically, we're talking about high-profile studies that may come from different blogs on the web. What should you believe versus what you observe? Now, I do appreciate the fact that there are different studies that are out there. I mean, definitely some of the SEO tools, they put out some studies on, here's what happens with these ranking factors. Most recently, there was a high-profile marketer that put out a study that said some factors that were important and not important, and a lot of people were dragging this individual on social media. They were giving this person a lot of grief because a lot of people said that they were not seeing the same things that this report looked at. One of the things that was interesting is one of the Google representatives chimed in. These types of studies are not necessarily as complex as the Google algorithm. And for instance, in this particular study, it only looked at rankings that were on the first page of Google. Now, many SEOs believe that there is a different criteria that gets applied to results on the first page, and that's because they're getting a lot more attention, they're getting more impressions, they're getting a lot more views, and many SEOs believe that there is even a different criteria for results that might be in the top half of the first page, like results 1 through 5. So a lot of things that this report was saying, people were saying, yeah, maybe that's true in the top 10, maybe that's true in certain cases, but you're not going to get to the top 10. You're not going to get to the first page of Google if you follow this advice. Now, some of the things that this study was saying were that page speed was not important, schema was not all that important, page titles were not all that important. The page titles on the first page of Google tend to all have a similarity to them, at least what I've seen. There's usually a keyword phrase in the titles in most of the titles that are on the first page, so that could be the case. The other thing that I want to say is, if you are going up against enterprise level companies, if you're trying to rank for a competitive keyword, I should say, then page speed is going to matter. One thing that I'm going to say too is schema data might not matter all that much for a local business because Google gets that information from other places like Google My Business, Yelp, your Facebook page, and your website. So the schema data about your local business might not matter that much. But if you're an e-commerce store of any type, if you're running an e-commerce website, then that schema data is pretty important. And most pages that are up near the top on page 1, they tend to have schema data in e-commerce searches. So the point that I want to make is, it's one thing to read blog posts about SEO and say, oh, well, this person said that these are ranking factors, and this person said that they are, this person said that they're not, this person said these things are important, these people said that they're not. But like I said, even the Google representative said that these studies are not the Google algorithm. They are not the Google algorithm. They have a lot of complexity in that algorithm. They have thousands of engineers working on it on a daily basis. Whether you're an SEO consultant, agency, in-house SEO, it doesn't really matter. The big takeaway that I want you to have is, these types of articles where people say this is a ranking factor, this isn't a ranking factor, use it as a starting point and a reference, but see if it lines up with what you're actually seeing with your client base. Just keep that in mind. My name is John Locke. My business is Lockedown Design and SEO, and where we fit in is helping manufacturing and industrial firms. We also help some of the blue-collar home services types of businesses as well. But we're here on a daily basis making videos on SEO. If you have a question, leave it in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer. That's all I have for now. Until next time, peace.